Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess. Hope everyone's doing well on this Sunday. And thank you so much to those who have subscribed to the channel. I never forget you, and I always thank you because it's been amazing doing this channel, and I really appreciate those who have been loving the work and resonating with what I'm bringing, the messages that I'm bringing, and the tools that I'm bringing, and the fact that I'm able to help people out there with what I've learned, and I also using my gifts, my talents. It's really just a blessing. It's honestly just a blessing. And if you are new to this channel, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Elizabeth, and I am a divine channeler, a psychic medium, as well as a spirit extractor specialist. I'm also a divine twin flame on the path to union. And I just want to make sure that everyone knows that my work is available to anyone and everyone who is awakening now, who wants to learn more about spirituality, who would like to connect with their spiritual team, their angelics, the spiritual guides, their loved ones on the other side. I do all of that. I'm available for all of that. So even though I am a twin flame, I am on the twin flame journey, and I do a lot of work for twin flames. If you do know somebody who would like a general reading, who maybe feels like they want to know about their health, they want to know about their love life, they want to know about their mission, their purpose, why they're here, all those different things. And of course, twin flames want to know those things as well. But if they would like a general reading, if you know somebody, I do that, as well as, I do speak to those on the other side. So I am here, and you can contact me on the paranormalpriestess.com. You can go to my contact page, and from there, I'm going to ask my spiritual team, if it is a vibrational match, if I am the reader, which would be in the highest good to work with you, then I will let you know, and we can schedule a session, and that would be fantastic. And I've been getting so many wonderful comments, and not only about the channel, but I've been getting great feedback as far as the readings, and really beautiful emails, thank you emails, and I really get so emotional about that, because this is my mission. This is what I am here to do, and I'm committed to paying it forward and helping people out in the best way that I know how, whether they be twin flames, whether they be non-twin flames, but they're light workers and they're awakened, and they want to be able to do something really positive in the world. I love my work, and I do this work full time, and it's just great to be able to have that ability. And so thank you all for your support. Thank you, subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber, you may think about becoming a subscriber so you can subscribe. And I post videos every Sunday. I upload videos every Sunday, and so you might want to hit the notification bell there, so that way you know when a new video is up and you don't want to miss anything. Just a really quick announcement, and I do this periodically, but just so people know. As a remote spirit extractor, I am able to remove all types of interferences from all different psychic attacks to lower beings and all types of negative energies within someone's energetic fields. And their common space, their physical space as well. This work, I sometimes need to take certain breaks with it because of my own energy. So it's not that I'm incapable of doing the work. No, it's not like that. And I'm always compelled to help. But just to conserve my energy, there are certain break periods that I have to take. So my spiritual team just let me know I'm not taking on anyone new. Anyone new who is interested in extraction works, if you have not paid for it yet, if you have not paid for an extraction work, we'll say, and scheduled it with me, I'm not taking on anyone new right now. And this is because my spiritual team just let me know that they confirmed to me that I really need to just get my physical energy back up to par. I'm integrating a lot of new frequencies, as we all are. And this work is very taxing on me because it's a 2-hour work. So per person. So I just have to be really aware as to my energy. So there are times I need to take some breaks. So there's no way that I am quitting this work or no longer doing it ever again or anything like that. I just need to take a little bit of break. So for November and December, I will be breaking with that. But however, my readings are still available. So I am absolutely still offering reading sessions. But the extraction work for new people won't be until the new year. So I just wanted to mention that. Okay. So this video is one that I feel is absolutely really relevant to what we're going through right now. And it was actually brought up to me by my divine masculine to talk about a sacred ancient symbol in which really mirrors the twin flame dynamic in all its respects. And that's the ancient Ankh, the Egyptian Ankh. And I have an Ankh on today. It's one of my favorite pieces. So you can see it. Sterling silver. This was made by Kemet Art, and it was made in Egypt, and it has the sacred scarab of regeneration on it. And yeah, he brought this up to me, his higher self, and I was like, wow, you know what? And when I channeled this information and we had our conversation and everything like that, because I have a very direct communication with my divine masculine's higher self, it really just blew my mind. I was so inspired by, you know, the meanings, the mysteries behind the Ankh, and how it truly is the symbol of twin flame union and the ascension. So absolutely relevant. And so I want to talk about that. And if any of you are also drawn to the Ankh, perhaps you've had Egyptian ties, you remember having an incarnation as an Egyptian. With that, you probably most likely have been Atlantean as well. Let me know. You know, leave a comment below. And this video may resonate with you. Now, if you're not a twin flame, that doesn't mean that this video is not for you. So if you are interested in Egypt and you've always loved the Ankh, and this may be really interesting for you to learn about, and this may just help kind of inspire you and open you up spiritually, and you may want to work further with the Ankh, and it might expand the way you work with the Ankh. So definitely. Now the Ankh, so I have a couple of notes here. I really loved some of the ways in which my divine masculine came through too, the way he described some of these things. But the Egyptian Ankh, it's the ultimate twin flame symbol of union. So I always talk about claiming your union. I always talk about believing in your union and claiming it now in the here and now and all of that. So you may want to favorite this video or like this video so you can return back to it, because there may be things in here that are going to help you to stay present and to claim your union. Okay, working with the Ankh, meditating with it, working with its energies, reflecting upon its meaning. This might be exactly kind of what you need, you know, to bring into your daily life, so that way you can claim your union. If you have been worried, if you have fell into that doubt that somehow that this dynamic is just not meant to be in the physical. Okay, and because as I always say in my other videos, for those of you who have watched my other videos, is that we are in a time where we are being awakened, and we have chosen, for those who are twins, have chosen to be here to be able to not only go through the certain stages of healing, of course, and to spiritually connect with our twin, but we're also meant to bring that spiritual dynamic into the physical. And that's what's really, really important, because we're here to be representations. We are here to template, to bring that new relationship template here. So the physical embodiment of the union is very, very important. So and I think that, like usual, like I try to bring is that the overall picture of why we've chosen to bring it here, and the times that we're in, the ascension times, the awakening times, and what that means planetary, and what that means to the collective. There's lots of things to think about there. And so if you have kind of been caught up in some sort of doubt, or your journey has come to a standstill at the moment, or a crossroads, that you know, maybe meditating with the Ankh and bringing the Ankh into your life is just what you need, you know, to help you to claim your union. So I'm hoping so. Now, the Ankh, as many of you may or may not know, is the symbol of eternal life, of the life force energy, okay? But some people may not know, though, is that the Ankh is actually made of a feminine energy, masculine energy, and the unification of that energy. Now, me being Wiccan, I'm on the Wiccan path. I also, I have been Druid before too, so I love bringing that Druidry and that Druid sensibility into my spirituality as well. But being Wiccan, we have what's known as the Great Rite. And so we have the Great Rite, we have the chalice, which is representative of the womb, of the goddess energy, the feminine creative energy, and we have the atame, which is like, it's a ritual knife, which is blunted, and that represents the male energy, okay, or the phallus symbol. And when those two come together, that's that sacred lovemaking, that's the sacred sex, and that's when they become one, that's where that power of creation is. That's where that magic is. And so the same could be said of the Ankh and how it's designed. Now with the Ankh, we have at the top, we have that loop. You see that loop? That loop is going to be like the chalice. It's that goddess energy. That's the womb. That can be considered the womb energy, the creative energy, the uterus energy, the birth canal. And then here, the staff part, this would be the masculine energy. Okay, so now we have the feminine energy and also the physiological representation of it, and we have the masculine energy, and this could also be known as the phallus symbol here. And so that's the masculine physiological part of it. And when they come together, my divine masculine said that that's when that part would be divine arms stretched out. And that's how he said it. So he said the arms of the divine, and that's the creation from this unification. That's what he said, and that's on my notes. And that could be known as that third force energy. Okay? And also the feminine and masculine coming together, they create that third energy, that third Christ force energy, and they also create, obviously, offspring from that, childbearing from that, the unity of the feminine and the masculine. But the symbol of the Ankh is never without having the unification of the divine with it. The divine is within that trinity. So that's what's really important. And what he said here is it's a mirror, and it's a mirror to reflect on. So this is a symbol that you may want to get maybe a piece of jewelry if you feel drawn or guided to, or you may want to print a picture out of it. Whatever you feel inspired to do, but he said to reflect on the harmonized state of the feminine and masculine forces joining together to create. And that would be the mirror work on that. That would be what to reflect upon. Because the feminine energies, for those of you who are twin flames, that's the representation of it. It's the feminine energy and the feminine physical part of it, and the masculine energies and the masculine part of it, and coming together as one. And that creates more than the sum of its parts. It's creative energy, it's life force energy, it's divine energy, it's Christ energy. It's giving birth to new life. So it's one of the most magical symbols that I know I can think of, and it absolutely is relevant to the twin flame journey. Okay? He says that the unity of these forces within sexual mating or sacred sex, right? So sacred sex would be the Ankh, that it can create divine results within one's world. So I asked him, I said, well, I work with the pentagram a lot as far as manifesting. And he actually said to me that the Ankh could be used to also manifest as well. So you might want to use the Ankh and see what your experiences are with that, and kind of keep track of things and work with it, and might want to journal as to what your personal experiences are. But he said that one can manifest with the ancient symbol of the Ankh. Okay, so it's the life force energy. It is the result of the feminine, masculine, spiritual, and physiological unification, or of course, the twin flame union and the twin flame dynamic. Really pretty amazing there. He also said that it can be used to transmit as a transmitter. It's like a battery. So it's a really powerful symbol in that way. The energy or life force is produced, he says, from the symbol to bring about manifested change within one's body. So actually, by even wearing the Ankh and wearing it against your skin and things like that, what it's doing is it with focus and working with this symbol, it is able to actually transmute heat, transmute energy, transmit life force energy, and that energy is actually able to heal the body, regenerate, give yourself life force energy. And we think about life force energy would be that God energy, that creation energy, the energy of the sun, the life force energy. So, and he said it can manifest actually change within all of your bodies, within your multidimensional bodies. So the energy is produced through sacred sexuality and unity. Okay, so let's talk about that. It's the transmitter of the life force energy we talked about, but he also talked about that the Ankh is really, really powerful as far as lovemaking goes. So what we talked about is that it can be activated, okay, when the divine complements come together within sacred lovemaking. Okay, so this is where we go from 3D primal sex to all the way levels up to twin flame sex. Okay, beloveds, actual divine feminine and masculine parts, two parts of the same soul, coming together, complementary forces and lovemaking. And how important that is in terms of bringing this into the physical union. Because the physical union part of it's so healing in so many ways. Now, the feminine energy and the masculine energy and of course the physical vessels as well, they come together, they love make, okay? And what he talks about is that their energies combine and they excite and they create a chain reaction. And this is during sacred lovemaking. And then once into a heightened orgasmic state, that energy then comes up. You're able to actually have orgasms through your heart space, through your heart chakra, and then all the way up and actually blast out through your crown chakra, orgasm through there. You can actually orgasm through your chakras. So this is pretty amazing. You can have that experience of having it through the heart and through the head. So once that energy, though, comes to the top, what he talks about is that you can actually recirculate that energy and bring the divine energy, life force, back down. So think of the loop. Think of the loop within the Ankh and bringing it back. You can actually bring it down back through the crown, breathing it in. Of course, using focus and intention while doing this, and bring in all the way and bring in all of that life force energy, that gold platinum energy, all the way within the body, all through the chakras, and infusing your entire vessel with it. And it actually brings healing and regeneration. Okay, and what's really beautiful about that is that the lovemaking that these two complements bring, that they are living examples of the Ankh, that sexual energy, that lovemaking energy, that life force energy, that amazing creative energy, that actually into the world. It goes into the world and it helps others heal. It helps the world heal. So twin flames, who are the actual living embodiment of the Ankh symbology, they are able to heal the world with just being able to make love. They're healing themselves and they're healing the world. So it's pretty incredible. And especially, it makes me think too about how the ancient Egyptians had this knowledge. They required the knowledge of the sacred Ankh and the mysteries behind it, because so many of those Egyptians, like I had mentioned, they come from Atlantis. So when Atlantis had its fall, those survivors actually went with the ascended master, the priest Thoth, ascended master Thoth, and went to Egypt and brought so much of this advanced knowledge, advanced spirituality, advanced technology, and brought that to Egypt to advance their civilization. So you hear a lot of people, they talk about, like, even take, for instance, like the movie Stargate, and it's like, did aliens actually build the pyramids, and how did they have all of this very advanced information? And the truth of it is that the Atlanteans did come over and they brought so much of that, being that they were existing in a different vibration. They were in 3D. And they did originate, the Atlanteans originated from other star systems. So many who were in Atlantis, they were what would be considered star seeds, right? And so they brought that, the information, and the mysteries and things like that, and technology, all of that. They brought that to Egypt, and in fact, to bring that into a step further, like they brought the twin flame mystery. They brought that to Egypt, and the Ankh was the perfect representation of that twin flame energy, because twin flames were absolutely of Atlantis and Lemuria. Lemuria is a little bit older than Atlantis, but they're twin flame civilizations. So the divine masculine and divine feminine, and what they're able to achieve together, and bringing the divine energies within that, and also being able to create more of a power than the sum of their parts. That's the Holy Trinity in action, and that's the Ankh. So it's lots of things to think about there. But my divine masculine talks about when you're lovemaking and your vessels are that Ankh, that when you're using it and you're cycling that energy, it's called sacred Ankh cycling. That's what he called it. So it's, for those of you who are physically intimate with your twin flames, this might be something that you might want to experience, of course, together. I mean, it will bring ultimate bliss. So it's not, the twin flame lovemaking is not about, what can I get? What can I get from this? What can I get from my partner? It's all about what can I give? And the partners, you're giving to each other. And when you come together and you have this lovemaking, it is bringing the divine within this lovemaking. Okay? And many have reported seeing Christ, being able to witness the divine while having that orgasm together, while lovemaking together. So it's really beautiful. It's sacred, and it's healing on so many levels. It's creative energy to manifest. It's the ultimate mystery. It truly, truly is. So it's a lot to think about there, and it's very, very deep. Anything else he talked about? So the Ankh truly is the mirror of course, we said, of the twin flame dynamic. It's the most important symbol of the ascension, he says. And the ascension really is the revelation. I love this, so I definitely want to read this part here. Ascension, he says, is the revelation of the mystery, which is love. Again, ascension, it's a revelation of the mystery, which is love. So love is the mystery. The mystery is love. Twin flames, they're the ultimate mystery. And the mystery is love. And that is the mystery of the Ankh, which is beautiful, orgasmic. It's healing and regenerating. It really is on all levels. He also mentioned about how it's used, how it was used rather, in Egypt for funeral rites, and which he called the rite of passage, because there is no death. And that's what the Ankh is truly telling us too, is that there absolutely is no death. Death is to be without love. That's what death is. All it is when we leave our physical vessels, we're just existing in a different vibration. we are living on. This, in fact, to come out of our physical shells, it is a rite of passage. It is an initiation. It is a rebirth. So life continues, and that life force is eternal, and the Egyptians realized that. So what they did was they used, actually, if you remember the famous god Anubis who had the jackal head, he was always working with the dead. He was the god of the dead. And for him, it was always about being able to allow someone to live again, to escort those good souls to their rightful place. Of course, the bad souls, he would want them to go to their rightful place. But for those who were good souls, who were righteous souls, he was committed to having them live again. And so he used this. He used the Ankh. He worked with the Ankh. He used this in what's known as the opening of the mouth ceremony. I don't know if any of you have heard of that before. So he would actually take the Ankh and he would place it on the deceased mouth in hopes of giving them a voice again, having them be able to communicate again in the other world, in the afterlife. Yeah. And so when you think about it, he was placing the ultimate mystery, which is love, which is the unification of divine complements, which is twin flames, in union with the divine, their unity and the divine force with them. He was placing that symbol on the deceased, on their mouth, because that is the mystery, that is the life. The love is the life. The life force is the love, is the unity of feminine and masculine with the divine, that Holy Trinity. So pretty amazing as to when you think about it with twin flame union and how important that was to Atlantean society. Hence Egyptian civilization also worked with the sacred Ankh and knew about sacred lovemaking and how sacred and how powerful lovemaking is, and how that energy could be transmuted, how it could be focused to create, to manifest, to create children, to create life, to manifest one's desires by concentrating that energy, by working with the sacred Ankh and its representation. Also, it's something to realize too is that the Egyptians, they would always leave the heart within the corpse. They removed everything else, but they left the heart. And the reason being is that the heart is the soul, and the soul is the heart. The soul is love. So they wanted to make sure that that deceased person had their heart, they had their soul, and they were able to also speak and to communicate and to have that life force energy again, so that way they could exist in the afterlife. Yeah, pretty interesting, right? So I just really wanted to share that, and I'm really, really thankful that my Divine Masculine came through to share that, because I think it was just really important to think about. And so I would really recommend, if you are drawn to the Ankh, that you may want to work with it a little bit more and, see how that goes, and journal it, and, write down some of the personal things that you're experiencing. And you may want to meditate with it and claim your union. Think about it. Have it be a reminder of the higher meanings, the mystery, the ultimate mystery, which is twin flames, which is love, which is to unite in love and to unite, to harmonize our own feminine and masculine energies within, to become whole within ourselves. Okay, so that's very important to realize, to become whole within ourselves, and then we are becoming whole with our complementary force, in which they're whole within themselves. And to bring that together is the ultimate mystery, it's the ultimate magic. It is what the world truly needs right now. They really need that love, that magic, that force. It's very true that twin flames, when they come together and they love make, a lot of times they are not feeling the same ailments that they felt, and they feel that energy, that life force energy, does heal them on many levels. They might feel a lot calmer. They feel healed emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. Again, it's the twin flames are the physical representation of that Ankh. And the Ankh is the ultimate mystery, which is love. So I'm so glad that I was able to, kind of explore the Ankh even more so. I knew what it meant, but to just learn more about it and go deeper with it, I'm hoping that this video inspired you to go deeper with it as well. And maybe there's a couple of things in there that you didn't even realize. And if you have been, say, losing your faith, if you are on this particular journey, you may want to bring that Ankh energy into your life. Have it be a reminder. Have it also be a very lively energy within your life, okay? And work with it and create with it and manifest with it and stay with it and see how that expands you. See how that changes things within your world. And if you're not on the twin flame journey, I think that it's just really powerful to know about how special this symbol is, what it means as far as the deeper meanings behind it, and how it has so much value and so much reverence to what we're experiencing now. I mean, what we're going through as far as awakening and getting to that next level of consciousness and becoming aware of the mysteries, so that way they're actually not going to be mysteries any longer. They're the revelation, in which we are living in the times of the revelation. And that revelation is not something to be afraid of. It's not something which is going to be catastrophic. It's not at all how I've channeled it, going to be like a movie scene of horror. The revelation truly is what has been mysterious to humankind, and really what that is the ultimate unconditional love and unity. Lots to think about there, right? So I hope this, gave you some food for thought. I know it has for me. So I also want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving if you're watching this in real time. So much to be thankful for here. It's been a very, very rough year. It has been for many. Lots of challenges, lots of changes, lots and lots of retrogrades. But we've gotten through it, and things are going to absolutely be shifting from what I'm hearing from from December on, from what I've been channeling personally. So things are going to definitely, turn for the better, and just pat yourself on the back that you got through this year, because wow, it really was challenging, but it's definitely grown us in so many ways. So hey, if you want to do a grateful list, that might be a wonderful idea, but just remember to be grateful, because it's so important to take a look at what we have. And people sometimes take for granted what we have, right? We don't really think about it enough, and we always look at the glass half empty instead of half full. But it's so important to understand and take note of what we do have, and to be thankful, and to realize there are so many people in the world who are suffering. I know people have been through fires and lost things, and been through so many different storms, and so much tragedy in the world. And it's not to focus on that tragedy, but to recognize that you are blessed, and to also realize too that gratitude is always going to lead to you sending the message to the universe that wow, I'm thankful, and the universe will send you even more so of that. So to be grateful really does help you manifest as well. But this is definitely a time to know that you are absolutely being provided for in all ways, and that's a wonderful, beautiful thing. So enjoy it, and whatever you're doing, enjoy it with your loved ones. And I'm wishing you so many wonderful blessings. And of course, as I always say, from the heart of the darkness is born the light. Take care, everyone. Be well, and I'll see you soon. Take care.